If a man is coming to you while he's with someone else, he doesn't want you. He wants something from you. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what that is. And I need to start this video with something that might be hard to hear, but it's going to save you months or even years of heartbreak. When a man pursues you while he's already in a relationship, whether he's married or has a girlfriend, it's not because you're special. I know that sounds harsh. I know you might be thinking, but Matthew, you don't know our situation. It's complicated. What we have is different. He's never felt this way before. She doesn't understand him. The marriage is dead anyway. I've heard it all, and I'm telling you, it's not different. It's a story as old as time, and it always ends the same way. Now, before we go any further, I want to be clear about something. This video is not about judgment. I'm not here to shame you if you've been in this situation. I'm not here to call you a home wrecker or tell you you're a bad person. That's not what this is about. This is about understanding the psychology of what's really happening so that you can protect yourself, so that you can see the situation clearly, so that you can make choices based on reality, not fantasy. Because here's the truth. When you're involved with a man who's already committed to someone else, you're not in a relationship, you're in a transaction, and understanding what he's actually getting from you is the first step to getting out. So let's start with the question in the title. What does a man want from you if he seeks you while he's married or has a girlfriend? The answer is simple. He wants escape. He wants validation. He wants excitement. He wants the parts of himself that feel dead in his current relationship to feel alive again, and he wants all of that without consequences. Notice what's not on that list: a future with you, real partnership, actual commitment, building a life together. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but he talks about leaving her. He says he's going to. He's just waiting for the right time. Let me tell you something about the right time. It doesn't exist. The right time is a carrot on a stick. It's a way to keep you invested while he continues to have his cake and eat it too. Think about it logically. If he really wanted to be with you, if you were really the love of his life, if this connection was really as special as he says it is, why would he wait? Why would he spend another day, another week, another month in a relationship that makes him so unhappy? I'll tell you why. Because he's not that unhappy, or at least he's not unhappy enough to give up what he has, the stability, the history, the comfort, the shared finances, the kids if there are kids, the image of who he is to his family and friends. You represent something else entirely. You represent freedom from responsibility. You represent the version of himself he wishes he could be. Young, exciting, unencumbered. You represent a fantasy. And fantasies are fun precisely because they're not real. Let me take you inside the mind of a man who pursues someone while he's already committed. And I want you to really hear this, because it's going to explain so much of his behavior. First, understand that he's compartmentalizing. In his mind, you exist in a completely separate box from his real life. His relationship with you doesn't feel like cheating to him because it exists in this alternate reality. When he's with you, he's not thinking about his wife or girlfriend. He's not thinking about the betrayal. He's living in the moment. He's living in the fantasy. And when he goes home, he puts you back in that box. He doesn't think about you when he's with her, or if he does, it's without the guilt you'd expect, because in his mind, these are two separate worlds that don't touch each other. This is why he can seem so genuine when he's with you. Why he can look you in the eyes and tell you he's never felt this way before. Why he can make you feel like you're the only woman in the world, because in that moment, in that compartment, you are. But the second he walks out your door, that compartment closes, and he goes back to his other life, the real life, the one where you don't exist. Second, he's getting an ego boost that his primary relationship isn't giving him anymore. Every long-term relationship goes through phases. The excitement fades, you see each other's flaws, you get comfortable, you stop trying as hard, that's normal. That's what happens when real life sets in, but it doesn't feel good, especially for a man. Men tie a huge part of their identity to being desired, to being wanted, to being impressive. And when that fades in a long term relationship, when his partner stops looking at him with that spark in her eyes, when the sex becomes routine or infrequent, when she's more focused on the kids or her career or just the daily grind of life, he feels invisible. Then you come along and you look at him the way she used to. You're excited to hear from him. You dress up for him. You have sex with him like you can't get enough. You laugh at his jokes. You think he's fascinating. You see the version of him he wishes everyone could see. That feeling is intoxicating. It makes him feel alive again. It makes him feel like he's still got it, and he becomes addicted to that feeling. Not to you, necessarily, but to the way you make him feel about himself. Third, he's avoiding the real work of fixing his actual relationship. Here's something most people don't want to acknowledge. If a man is unhappy in his relationship, he has options. He can communicate. He can go to therapy. He can make an effort to reconnect with his partner, or he can leave. Those are hard options. They require vulnerability. They require facing uncomfortable truths. They require change. An affair is the easy option. It's the option that lets him avoid all of that. Why would he do the hard work of fixing his relationship when he can just get his needs met somewhere else? Why would he have the difficult conversation with his partner about what's not working when he can just text you instead? You're not the solution to his problems. You're the avoidance of them. Let me walk you through the greatest hits of lies that men tell when they're pursuing someone outside their relationship, and I want you to notice something as I go through these. Every single one of these lies serves a purpose. They're designed to make you complicit, to make you wait, to make you believe that what you're doing is okay because it's going to lead somewhere. Lie number one, we're basically already broken up. We're just going through the motions. The relationship is dead. If the relationship is dead, why is he still in it? Why is he still going home to her every night? Why is he still showing up to family dinners and posting pictures on social media and sharing a bed? Here's what this lie really means. I'm unhappy sometimes, the way everyone in a long-term relationship is unhappy sometimes, but not unhappy enough to actually leave. Lie number two, I'm going to leave her. I just need to wait for the right time, after the holidays, after her birthday, after we get through this stressful period at work, after the kids are older. There will always be a reason to wait, always. Because the truth is, he's not waiting for the right time. He's waiting for you to get tired of waiting. And if you don't, he'll just keep moving the goalpost. I had a client once who waited 4 years for a man to leave his wife. 4 years he kept saying soon. He kept saying he was making a plan. And then one day she found out his wife was pregnant with their third child. The relationship wasn't dying. It was alive and well. Lie number three, you're different. I've never felt this way before. What we have is special. Of course it feels special. It's a fantasy. There are no bills to pay together. No mundane conversations about whose turn it is to take out the trash. No fights about money or in-laws or who forgot to pick up milk. You get the highlight reel of his life while she gets the reality. And I promise you, if he did leave her and end up with you, eventually you'd become the reality too. And then he'd find another woman to be his fantasy. Lie number four, she doesn't understand me like you do. Maybe that's true, or maybe she understands him perfectly, and that's precisely why she's exhausted. Maybe after years together, she's seen all his patterns, all his excuses, all the ways he avoids taking responsibility, and she's stopped indulging them. You don't understand him better. You just don't know him well enough to see through him yet. Lie number 5. If I could do it all over again, I would have waited and found you. This is the one that really gets women because it sounds so romantic, like your soulmates who found each other at the wrong time. But here's the reality check. He did have a choice. He has a choice right now, and he's not choosing you. He's choosing to have both. I want to tell you about someone I'll call Jennifer. She came to one of my retreats about 3 years ago, and in the small group session, she broke down. She'd been seeing a married man for 2.5 years. They met at a conference. He told her his marriage had been struggling for years, that he and his wife were like roommates, that he'd never connected with anyone the way he connected with her. For the first 6 months, Jennifer told herself she wouldn't get emotionally involved. It was just physical, just fun. But of course, that's not what happened. Feelings developed, and he encouraged them. He called her every day. He told her he loved her. He said he was working on an exit plan. 2.5 years later, he was still working on that exit plan. And Jennifer had put her entire life on hold. She turned down dates with other men because she was waiting for him. She spent every holiday alone because he was with his family. She couldn't tell her friends or family about the person she loved because the relationship had to be a secret. She said to me, "Matthew, I know how this looks. I know what people would say about me, but you don't understand. What we have is real. He does love me. I know he does." And I said, "Jennifer, I believe that he loves you. Or at least he loves the way you make him feel, but love without action is just words, and words are the cheapest thing a person can give." I asked her a question that changed everything. I said, if nothing changed, if he never left his wife, if you were still in this exact situation 5 years from now, would that be okay with you? And she started crying because the answer was no, it wouldn't be okay. It was already not okay. She'd just been so deep in it, so invested in the story he'd been telling her, that she couldn't see it. 3 months after that retreat, Jennifer ended it, and it was one of the hardest things she ever did. Because even though she knew logically that he was never going to leave, emotionally she was still holding on to hope. The last time I heard from her, she was in a relationship with someone who was actually available. Someone who wanted to introduce her to his friends and family. Someone who didn't have to hide her. And she said, "Matthew, I can't believe I wasted almost 3 years of my life on someone who was never really mine. I can't believe I thought that was love. That's what I want to save you from. The years of your life spent waiting for something that's never going to happen." So why do smart, capable, self-aware women get involved with unavailable men and stay involved even when every rational part of them knows it's wrong? First, there's the intensity. Affairs are intense by nature. There's the secrecy, the stolen moments, the longing, the feeling that you're the only two people in the world who understand this connection. That intensity is addictive. It's a drug, and it tricks you into thinking that intensity equals depth. But it doesn't. Intensity is not the same as intimacy. Real intimacy is built over time, through shared experiences, through seeing someone at their worst and staying anyway, through navigating real problems together. You can't build that in secret. You can't build that in hotel rooms and text messages and hours snatched between his real life. Second, there's the challenge. On some level, you believe that if you can just be patient enough, understanding enough, attractive enough, he'll choose you. And that will prove something. That will prove you're special, that you're worth leaving someone for, that you're the exception, but you're not trying to win him. You're trying to win against her, against his fear of change, against his comfort with the status quo, against his financial concerns and his family obligations and his entire life that's already built. That's not a battle you can win, and it's not a battle you should want to win. Third, there's the investment. The longer you stay, the harder it is to leave, because leaving means admitting you were wrong. It means admitting you wasted months or years. It means grieving not just the relationship, but the future you imagined. The future he kept promising, so you stay and you wait and you tell yourself it'll be different, it'll happen soon, he just needs more time, but here's what you need to understand: time is not the issue. His commitment to his current situation is the issue, and that's not something that changes just because you wait longer. The harsh reality, 30 minutes to 35 minutes, let me tell you what happens in the majority of these situations. One of three things. Option one, he stays with her. This is the most common outcome by far. After months or years of promising to leave, after all the I love yous and the this is real, and the as soon as the timing is right, he stays. Maybe she finds out and gives him an ultimatum. Maybe he just decides on his own that the disruption isn't worth it. Maybe he realizes he actually does love her and he's been taking her for granted. Whatever the reason, he stays. And you're left heartbroken, having invested your time and emotion into something that never had a real future. Option two, he leaves her, but not for you. This one is brutal. He does end his relationship. But then instead of immediately committing to you, he says he needs time. He needs to figure himself out. He needs to be single for a while. And you realize that you were never the reason he was going to leave. You were just the catalyst that showed him he was unhappy. And now that he's free, he wants to explore his options. Options that include you but aren't limited to you. Option three, he actually leaves her and commits to you. This is the rarest outcome. This is the one you're holding out hope for. But even when this happens, even when you get what you thought you wanted, here's what you need to know. The relationship is built on a foundation of betrayal. You will never fully trust him because you know what he's capable of. You know he's capable of lying to someone he committed to, of leading a double life, of justifying behavior that hurts someone else. And every time his phone buzzes, every time he's late, every time he's distant, you'll wonder, is he doing to me what he did to her? Because the way you get him is the way you lose him. If he cheated with you, he can cheat on you. And deep down, you'll always know that. Plus, there's the guilt. Even if you try to push it away, even if you tell yourself his marriage was already over, there's a part of you that knows you participated in something that caused pain. You'll think about her, about what she went through, about the moment she found out or the moment he told her, and that guilt will seep into your relationship. This is not the fairy tale beginning you deserve. What you actually want, 35 minutes to 40 minutes, here's what I want you to ask yourself. What are you actually getting from this? You can't go out in public without worrying about being seen. You can't spend holidays together. You can't tell your friends and family about him. You can't post pictures. You can't make plans for the future. You can't have him when you really need him because he has to be available for his real life. You get scraps. You get whatever time he can carve out from his actual life. You get to be the secret, the side note, the asterisk. Is that really what you want? Is that really the kind of love you dreamed about when you were younger? I'm guessing no. I'm guessing what you actually want is to be someone's priority, to be claimed, to be introduced, to build a real life with someone, to not have to hide, and you can't have that with him. No matter how long you wait, no matter how patient you are, no matter how much you love him, the relationship you're in is not a relationship. It's a holding pattern, and the only person who can change that is you. If you're in this situation right now, here's what you need to do, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be hard, it's going to hurt, but it's necessary. First, stop believing the story. Stop believing that you're different, that this time it's real, that he's actually going to leave. Look at his actions, not his words. His actions are telling you that he's chosen his current situation over you every single day. Second, cut contact completely. Not a slow fade, not staying friends, complete separation. Block his number, block his social media. Don't check up on him. Don't leave a door open for him to come back through, because he will try. When he realizes you're serious, when he realizes he's losing the ego boost and the validation and the escape you provided, he'll reach out and he'll say all the right things. He'll tell you he's leaving. He'll tell you he made a mistake. He'll tell you anything to pull you back in. Don't fall for it. Third, grieve. You're not just losing him. You're losing the future you imagined, the version of him you fell in love with. The hope that it was all going to work out. Let yourself feel that loss. Let yourself be sad and angry and confused. But don't let those feelings pull you back. Fourth, rebuild your life. Fill the space he occupied with things that actually serve you. Reconnect with friends. Pursue hobbies. Focus on your goals. Date other people when you're ready. Remind yourself what it feels like to be someone's priority instead of their secret. And fifth, learn the lesson. Figure out why you were vulnerable to this in the first place. Was it low self-esteem? Was it the thrill of the forbidden? Was it that you didn't think you deserved better? Work on that. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself in the same situation with a different man. I want to leave you with this. Real love doesn't hide. Real love doesn't make you feel like you're not enough. Real love doesn't keep you waiting indefinitely for a future that never comes. Real love shows up. Real love chooses you clearly and consistently. Real love doesn't require you to share someone or compete for someone or convince someone. And you deserve real love, not the fantasy version, not the complicated version, not the someday version, the real version, where someone sees you and says yes, you, absolutely, and commits to building a life with you. That man you're waiting for, the married one or the one with a girlfriend, he's not your person. He can't be, because your person wouldn't put you in this position in the first place. Your person is out there, but you're not going to find him while you're wasting your time on someone who's unavailable. You're blocking your blessing by holding onto someone who was never yours to hold. So let him go. Let go of the fantasy. Let go of the hope. Let go of the what-ifs and make space for something real. You're worth more than being someone's secret. You're worth more than being someone's escape. You're worth being someone's everything, their priority, their future, their choice. Don't settle for less just because you've already invested time. Don't settle for less just because it feels intense. Don't settle for less because you're afraid of starting over. Starting over is not a failure. Staying in something that diminishes you is. I know this was a tough video. I know if you're in this situation, this probably brought up a lot of feelings. But I'd rather tell you the hard truth than let you waste years of your life on something that's never going to give you what you need. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more content on love, dating, and relationships that's going to give you the real talk you need, hit that subscribe button. Remember, you're not trying to be chosen by someone who's already chosen someone else. You're trying to be free to find someone who chooses you first. I'll see you next time.